Hi, grade 7. Let's continue together. Lesson 3, cell division, okay? What's meant by the cell cycle? Cell cycle, the time taken by the cell to grow and reproduce, okay? And this time depends on the cell and the organism, which differ from one organism to another. Where the egg cell, the frog egg cell, okay, take about 30 minutes to grow and reproduce or to complete one cycle, while human liver cell take over 1 year to complete one cycle, okay? In this lesson, we explain what's meant by cell division, okay? And we will talk about the cell division in details. What's meant by the cell division? Cell division, a biological process in which one cell can split into two cells, where the mother cell, by cell division, can produce two new cells known as daughter cells. Cell division has many very important rule, okay, in living organisms. Where the most important rule of the cell division, number 1, cell division help in growth of living organisms' body, also repair and compensate the damaged tissues. We have some organisms, many single organisms, known as unicellular organisms that reproduce asexually, depend on cell division to reproduce and to produce new organisms, like amoeba and bacteria. Also, other organisms can reproduce when cell division leads to growth of new structures like cactus, okay? And organisms that reproduce sexually, producing specialized cells from two parents, male and female, then the two specialized cells can combine together, forming a new cell known as zygote, okay? But the question is, what happened during the cell cycle? During the cell cycle, the cell grows and prepares itself for division, okay? And the cell cycle, as we know, consists of 3 main stages, okay? Stage 1, interphase. Stage 2, mitosis. Stage 3, cytokinesis, okay? Stage number 1, interphase. Interphase is the time or is a period before cell division that includes growing of the cell, copying of DNA, number 3, preparing for division. Early during the interphase, the cell grows to its full size, okay? And it produces the organelles that it needs, like plant cell make more chloroplast that needs in photosynthesis process. All cells, whatever plant or animal, make more ribosomes and mitochondria, and cells also make more enzymes that speed up the chemical reaction in living organisms' body. After the cell reaches to its full size, the cell make an exact copy of DNA in the nucleus, and this process known as replication, where the DNA is a very important material found inside the nucleus, because DNA is a genetic material that carry instructions of the cell function and traits. And inside the nucleus, DNA and the protein combine together and form 3 bodies known as chromosomes, okay? After the replication, the cell contain 2 identical sets of chromosomes, and after that, the cell begin preparation for the cell division by producing new structures that help it to be divided into 2 new cells. Example, like a pair of centrioles in animal cell, where centrioles found in animal cell only. What happened to the centrioles is duplicated and the cell become ready to divide it, okay? Before talking about mitosis, we should know the structure of the chromosomes. Look at the figure 2, can imagine. This is a structure of chromosomes. Chromosomes consist of 2 rod-like bodies called the chromatids, okay? Each chromatid is an exact copy of other and containing identical DNA, okay? The 2 chromatids connected together by a point called centromere, okay? Stage number 2 in cell cycle known as mitosis. Okay, mitosis classified into 4 phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Look at prophase. Prophase is the first phase in mitosis division. In this phase, chromosomes in the nucleus condense, as we see in the figure in front of you, and the pair of centrioles, this is a pair of centrioles, move to opposite end of the nucleus, and centrioles formed as filamentous threads known as spindle fibers, so that play an important role in cell division. Finally, nuclear membrane and the nucleolus disappear. Okay? After prophase, metaphase. In this phase, the chromosomes that attached to the spindle fiber, okay, are arranged at the middle of the cell or at the cell equator, as we see. Okay? After metaphase, the third phase known as anaphase. What happened in this phase? The centromere of each chromosome splits, pulling the chromatids away from each other. Each chromatid now is called the chromosomes, okay? Because each chromatid is identical to the other. And these chromosomes, okay, after splitting, are shrunk by their spindle fibers to the opposite ends of the cell. And the cell stretches out. Finally, in the last stage of mitosis division, telophase. This stage is the opposite stage of what happened in prophase. Okay, in this stage, the spindle fibers disappear after splitting, and nuclear membrane reform around the set of the chromosomes, and the nucleolus reappears again in each nucleus. Now the cell contains 2 nuclei, each one contains identical set of chromosomes. Okay. After the end of mitosis, the stage number 3 of the cell cycle began, which is known as cytokinesis. Cytokinesis is a final stage of the cell cycle that complete the cell division, and it's usually start at about the same time of telophase. Okay? During cytokinesis, what happened? The cytoplasm found in parent cell divides, and the structures are distributed between 2 new daughter cells. And at the end, each daughter cell receives the same number of chromosomes of the parent cell. Then each cell begins its cycle again and divided more again. Okay? But cytokinesis in animal cell differ from in plant cell, where, as we know, the animal cell surrounding from outside by the cell membrane. The cell membrane is flexible membrane, so it can squeeze together around the middle as we see, okay, of the cell. Then the cytoplasm distributed into 2 cells, and each daughter cell gets about half of organelles of the parent cell. But cytokinesis in plant cell is different. Okay, because plant cells surrounding from outside by rigid cell wall that composed mainly of cellulose. So the cell wall can't squeeze as a cell membrane in animal cell. What happened instead? Instead, the plant cell form a structure called cell plate, as we see. Okay, form across the middle of the cell. The cell plate grow and they began to form new cell membranes between each daughter cells. And then the new cell wall form around the cell membrane. Then the plant cell finally, okay, splits into 2 daughter cells as we see. Okay, where each daughter cell contains the same number of chromosomes of the parent cell. Okay, thank you, grade 7, for your good listening, and goodbye.